Resource Network, the Disneyland of service providers in Mecklenburg County, in the world. All right, let's kick it out there. My name is Sharon Galuski, and I'm one of the educators here at Promise Resource Network. Education is a big part of what we do here. We want to share information in a way that is based on the knowledge we have in our past experience. See, the cool thing about Promise Resource Network is 97% of our staff have lived experience, meaning that we've been somewhere. Homelessness, incarceration, hospitalization, treatment. We've been around the gamut, okay? So as we come here, we're able to share our knowledge based on where we've been. Right. And sometimes it helps when you're sitting with someone sharing your truth and I'm able to say, me too. Right. That's a powerful thing. Me too is a powerful thing. So what we're going to talk about today is amends when I'm sorry isn't enough. Okay. So before we get started, I want to talk about our warm line. We have a 24/7, 365 phone line that you can call if you ever need help. The people on the other end of the line are people who are peer support specialists, people with lived experience, people who have been somewhere. So when you call and you're able to talk about what's going on, we have a listening ear. Sometimes we don't think we have anything to give. One of the most powerful things we have to give is a listening ear. And that's what we provide. We provide resources. We help people figure out maybe how to get through something. So call our warm line anytime. If it's 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon and your mama's on your nerves, call us. If it's 3 a.m. on Wednesday and this is kicking, call us. All right. So we went around the room and said who we are. We got a big crowd here today, and I'm so excited. And today we're going to talk about amends. What is the definition of amends? Somebody tell me what amends is.
What's it term?
Amends.
Amend. A-M-E-N-D-S.
Yes.
To right a wrong, to correct something.
Absolutely.
Improve.
To change. To resolve. Nice. I love that, Alan. That's perfect. To resolve something that has gone on between two people. In a relationship, we're going to mess up. Both sides, right? We do things based on our own needs, based on my trauma, right? That can cause other people harm. When I make amends, I want to do restitution. I want to be able to make it right today. See, I don't know. Anybody wear out, I'm sorry all the time, right? My apologies don't count for anything anymore, right? I wore it out. When I said I was sorry, I meant it from my heart of hearts, but it didn't change anything. Right? So today I want to talk about when I'm sorry isn't enough. When I'm sorry isn't enough right there. Okay. Amends are difficult from both sides of the street. And we're going to talk about both sides of the street today because it's a two-party event, right? We're going to talk about if I have harmed someone, how I can do restitution, how I can restore a relationship. But we're also going to talk about when I am receiving an amends, what's my part in that? Okay? Something we don't usually talk about. I hadn't really thought about what's my part when somebody has given me when somebody's given me an amends. Right? So when I think of amends in the way we're talking about today, I think of living amends. Anybody ever heard of a living amends? Yeah. It says living amends means that we are making genuine changes in our life. Our behaviors and actions are true, honest, and they follow a path that is emotionally in recovery. Sometimes when people make amends, they are nothing more than words because the actions don't line up. Right? So many times in my life, I said I was sorry. So many times in my life, I wanted to change. I wanted to make things better, but I didn't know how, right? I didn't get that book. Anybody get that book on how to do life? You know, you got that. That's good. I wish I had, because I never did. And I didn't learn how to give or receive an apology. Right? So let me tell you about some things we can do as the person who has harmed someone. When I'm in a situation where I truly decide that I want to make something different, when I set in that moment of clarity and begin the process, right? First thing we want to consider is the reason for the fallout. What did I do? Right? That's a toughie sometimes, right? I harmed someone because I made my needs greater than their needs, right? And that put us out of alignment. As somebody who harmed someone, I thought what I needed and what I wanted was more important than anything else. And I will get what I need. Right? I will get that's just how I was. Prior to recovery, I got mine, you get yours, hell with you. Right? That's just how I was. I don't know about anybody else. But when I consider the reason for that fallout, the reason that I've got to make amends, it says most broken relationships aren't caused by a single conflict. It's a result of many unaddressed small issues that have snowballed. So before we ask for forgiveness, think about what really caused the conflict. If we include those reasons in our apology, it will also show the other person that we really are sincere about making amends. If I can say, I did this and I regret it. That's how they taught me in the rooms. They said, when I have harmed someone, not only do I need to assess what I did, I need to assess how to change that behavior in me, how to understand. Yes, dear. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my question is this. I said I'm sorry to my family many times and then relapsed with alcohol.
Yes.
And this last time, of course, I said I'm sorry and I'm going to change my life. And I have changed my life. That's
Yes.
the good news. But a person that I talked to said it was okay for me to say, I am sorry for my behavior and what it caused your family and the people in the room. I didn't have to go back and say, I'm sorry for the fact that I knocked the wine glass over and I laid on the table and drank and drank and drank.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct, but I need to know about I spilled the wine glass and I cussed everybody out in it. See, because they know. Shit, they got it ripped down. All right, they know what happened. I got to know, because I get in denial about my behavior. I minimize things that I've done. So as long as I know what's going on, as long as I can identify, I did this and it harmed somebody.
If you can't remember exactly because I'm such a selfish person, that I know that my behavior was selfish, self-centered, maybe caused a little bit of drama in the room, and I know it was just terrible. Is that right?
I think, yeah. You're identifying what it was that caused that dis-ease in the room.
Right.
Because part of my dis-ease is that uncomfortable feeling about when I've harmed someone,
right,
or that frustration and anger when somebody's harmed me, right? So when I consider what caused this mishap, for lack of a better word. The other person already knows probably. Well, let me tell you something. They very well may not know. Sometimes I make things so big in my head that aren't big in anybody else's head, right? I was talking to a friend of mine. I made some smart remark, and I felt bad about it for like hours. And, I kept thinking, I got to make an amends. I got to tell her. So after a while, I said, you know what? I really regret what I said, and I'll be more careful about, how I talk about these things. And she was like, what the hell are you talking about? Sometimes people don't know, but I got to know. I got to know what I did. That's critical. That's critical. Another one is avoid making excuses. Well, right? If you hadn't, I wouldn't. Well, that's just my addiction. That's just my disease. That's just that's just my trauma.
Right.
Excuses don't change anything, right? Excuses don't change anything. But true acceptance of what I've done without putting any bullshit in between myself and the other person, right? I want to be able to be truthful. Making excuses for our mistakes is just as bad as putting blame on others. When we apologize, just apologize. Don't try to make excuses. If you do, we're justifying our actions instead of asking for forgiveness. When I make an excuse, I'm saying that, it doesn't really matter what I did to you, right? I want to be able to be truthful, understanding my part of the situation so that I can better make that amends, right?
I spent lots of years with my sister or whoever trying to defend. They would say something and I'd say, but you did blah, blah, blah. I wanted them so much to hear their part.
Yes.
And then the situation never really resolved itself. It was still in the air. And so it's such a good thing to be able to take full responsibility for your own behavior.
Yeah. I cannot control their part, right? I can't control what other people do. But what I do and how I act and how I respond is on me, right? That blaming, like you said, the excuses, all that stuff, it doesn't get us to where we want to be. It just doesn't get us to where we want to be. This is a good one. Listen to their side of the story. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about that, Chris? Let me put you on it. Thinking about their side of the story.
It's a subject in recovery itself that can go many different roads. So I was kind of waiting for you to get to it all in one time.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I don't shut up.
For me, just my personal experience in recovery and addiction, active addiction especially, making amends with people is probably one of the hardest steps in recovery. For me, anyways, just speaking on my past experiences. Because there were so many reasons why addiction become active in my life.
Yeah.
From abuse to not feeling love to just not caring about love. I mean, there's something I can sit here and talk about.
Oh, yeah.
But when you start talking about making amends, I'll probably spend the rest of my life making amends for wrongs that I've done to not just my loved ones, not just to the world, but to myself also. My biggest amend is to myself. Because I allow myself as being what I call a strong person in life and feel like that nothing in life can whoop me to become a monster that I never want to see ever again.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I wake up every morning looking at that monster. But making amends with people, the main thing to understand is everybody's not going to have an understanding when you try to make amends.
Yeah.
Everybody's not, and there's going to be people that you want to make amends with, and you need them. You feel like that's what it takes for you to stay sober.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're not gonna allow that. But you can't let that discourage you
Yeah.
from what your mindset is. You can't let that discourage you. I mean, because there's loved ones that I spend daily with. I've made my amends with them that I feel like I have. Have they accepted it? They say they have.
Yeah.
But I can see a lot of times in a lot of situations that really they still have their, I guess what you call doubts.
Yeah.
And but I wake up on a daily basis. I made the biggest amends with God because my higher power is what keeps me sober. My higher power is what continues to show me if you give me what I want, I'm gonna give you what you want.
Mhm.
But making amends, it's a daily task for me. You know, like I said, I'll probably never make all the amends I need to make, but I feel like I made the ones that I need that needed to be made.
Yeah.
If that makes any
Yeah.
sense, you know what I'm saying? Because I wake up daily with the urge to get high, but the strength not to.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I feel like there's nothing. There's not a death. There's not an accident. There's not an occurrence in life. And I could be wrong. I mean, because it's addiction just one step behind us, you know. But I feel like me personally, there's nothing that can cause me to go back there because I don't want to be that person again. You know,
That's it.
because that person right there is someone that nobody should have. You know,
I love-
when I say I was a monster. I was a monster.
Me too.
But my biggest amends, I feel like that I have to do it daily.
Yeah.
I like to say this to myself, you know? And I constantly, I feel like that my accomplishment making amends is I want to fight for my passion in life itself.
Mhm.
It's not having a job. It's
Yeah.
not worrying about my power bills and pay more because if it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. You know? My biggest passion in this recovery thing is giving back to the world that I
Yeah.
took from.
Oh, I like that. Giving back to the world what I took from.
I took things from this world that the world never deserved to be took.
Mhm.
To take from them, you know what I'm saying?
One thing I loved about what you said was we make that daily amends. I will do this for the rest of my life because I will make amends for the rest of my life because I want to continue to change my better behavior to better and better and better, to things that are more giving, that are kinder, that are more loving. I want to change in that way. And in the beginning of my recovery, I always say I was cash register honest, right? If somebody gave me too much money, I'd give it back, but I was still stealing cable. So I wasn't all the way there. But I grew a God conscious. And that helps me change to be kinder, to be more loving, to be more what I think my higher power intended me to be, and to make that amends to the world by changing my behavior, by being one of those people that could say, me too, how can I help? Right? That's the shit right there. That's the good stuff.
And if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
The biggest thing about making amends, especially in early recovery, you know, is remember that by you choosing and making the decision of making amends with whatever the situation is or whoever it may be, like I said, they may not be ready to make that amends, you know what I'm saying? And you can't let that discourage you from being the person that you're trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Because if you do, you thought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not what we're looking for in recovery. We're looking to stay sober or whatever you may be in recovery for, you know what I mean? But I've learned that you gotta put it in God. And once you make your amends, even if they don't accept it, even if they're not ready, you gotta put it in God's hands, you know what I'm saying? You gotta put your higher power, whatever that may be, you know what I'm saying? And if you're true to it and you're faithful to it, you know what I'm saying? Your higher power will make it happen.
Yeah.
They'll eventually come around. They'll eventually see. But the biggest thing is, when you make amends, you got to put action behind that amends. You know what I'm saying? You got to. It's just like anything else in life. You know what I'm saying? If you don't show
Uh-huh.
I mean, I can sit up here all day long and preach to you about recovery. But if I don't go out here and show them, I mean, why are you gonna believe that I'm in recovery? I mean, I can sit up here and spit what's in the Blue Book all day long.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm not living that life, I'm not living what I'm preaching, or I'm not living what I'm trying to put out there, or what I'm trying to show, then there's no point in even doing it, you know?
Recovery happens when I walk out that door.
Right.
It's easy to be in recovery in this room, all happy, joyous, and free and shit, right? Loving each other and all that. So, but it's when I go out there and face the real world, those people that don't know me or love me, when I walk out that door, how do I represent recovery? How do I represent a different way of life to people so that maybe they can get what I got? Right. Let me tell you, we got Deidre in the house. We got Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Rebecca, Aaron, we're good. Taylor says, my grandma would say, you're sorry. All right. All right, Taylor. Right.
Which game is that? The one I was here?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Oh.
Taylor. Yeah. Okay. Let's, another thing we can do if we harm someone, put ourselves in their shoes. Ooh. When I humble myself and am vulnerable enough to think about how that may have affected people, it changes me. It changes me. I want to be able to think about what was that like for them? Can I relate to that in any way? Yes, sir.
All right, so,
Go ahead and pull your mask down if you like.
all right, so it's really hitting me now, like, about like, I think you understand.
Yes, sir.
Like, towards my family, like my sisters.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much all I have left ever since, so it's like, I feel like they are like judging me on the past, and I've been trying to make them,
Yeah.
and it's like trying to prove it to them, like paying my bills and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so I used to like gamble real bad, like, I scratch off lottery and all that stuff, and it's like, I really have to stop. It's like, it's not that I just stopped, like, just maybe just quit, but I can't afford to because of the bills. Like my car pay, like my car, and gas.
Oh, yeah.
Everything like that. So it's not only that, but I used to, when I was younger, I was impulsive. I used to destroy stuff like they didn't even bring it up. Like they'd be like, "Oh, he would demolish the whole house. He was like one of those backhoes or something, or a bobcat. He would tear a whole house down like that." And it's like destroy everything. Like bust out a car window, and just acting out of impulse, not thinking of the person. Like they're having to work hard for this. I don't know what they're going through. Like as far as struggling, clocking in every day, going through, hell of a job, putting up with angry coworkers, all this didn't matter. Or I'm not gonna say it didn't matter, but it's like it didn't matter, and I was unaware because I was younger.
It didn't occur to me.
Yeah. So now that I'm older, I'm seeing all of this, like the ex-girlfriend, her damaging my stuff, breaking my stuff out of info, extracting out of info. In other words, now I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
And it hurts so bad. It's like on one hand, I'm like, okay, so this is what they were going through. They were struggling to pay this, barely making this, and paying the life, paying the car note, paying this, and I'm sitting here damaging stuff. And on the other hand, it's like me gambling, throwing money away, buying this or doing that. And now I ask for a hand, like $10 or something, like just to hold me over. I ask for this, I ask for that. And they don't trust me.
Yeah.
Even though I've done whatever I can to make it, my sisters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's all we have. Like, hey, can I come visit? I don't want to stay. Can I come visit?
Yeah.
My nephews. And they're like, oh, no, I don't really have time. And it's like, I know we do have time.
I'm dealing with that exactly right now. I know.
All right, hold on.
Like, they're judging me based on my past and my younger days.
Yes.
And the whole gambling thing, too. So,
Hold on. That happens. And what I want to what I got from that I'm thinking is that I got to know how to do it first. When I was, for those of you that have done the steps, we do the amends way down the line. Well, when I was on my second step, I decided I was going to go about making amends. Let me go say I'm sorry to everybody. Well, I sat down with somebody who I'd harmed in the past, and they chewed my ass out. I didn't know what I was doing, and I wasn't making amends. I was excusing my behavior. I didn't know how to do it, right? But the other part of that is it takes so long to build trust back up. My impulsivity caused harm, and I got to be able to understand where that person is coming from. Like you said, Patrick, this person worked, let's say, for 12 full hours to pay for this thing I just destroyed. When I put myself in that space, it helps me understand in a different way, right? Ask how we can make it right. That's the biggest part of it. I don't get to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to do this, right? The way I learned to do amends was, I regret what I did. I did this, this, and this, if necessary. I regret what I did. How can you tell me how to make it right? I don't get to make that decision. Is that making sense? I'm not sure I am. You decide how I need to change based on your experience, right? Based on how I can make things right in this situation, right? So all these things come into play. All these things come into play when we're trying to make an amends to someone. Yes, sir.
Hey, the biggest thing is, you spend, saying, whatever the wrong may be, whatever the situation may be in your case, or anybody's case for that matter. We spend our whole lives more in addiction or whatever our problem was, you know what I'm saying? Destroying everything in our past. And when we finally make a decision that, hey, we're tired of that, and we want to change, and we decide, and we're in the process of making our change, and making amends with the people that we destroyed, you can't put expectations on how long it takes them to get their trust back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They may never get it back.
Yeah.
But the key goal is you, as a person trying to better yourself and make their life what it's supposed to be. You don't give up on what you got going on. You just keep continuing to show those folks that, hey, I'm doing what I gotta do, I'm doing what I gotta do. And eventually, if they're a good old person or if they got any type of sanity about them, they're gonna come around. Right?
Eventually, yeah.
I don't know what it all depends on the damage that you did cause, I mean, because like I said, there's folks out there that's in my past, that I mean, I've done what I feel like, and I'm in the process of doing what I feel like that I have to do to make amends with these folks, but I can only ask in return that I get that, you know what I'm saying? And if I don't, I find some way somehow to understand it and and keep on moving, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But don't let it discourage you and cause you to, you know what I'm saying, go backwards.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to say, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing to move forward. Keep doing what you're doing to better yourself.
Yeah.
Because we live in a judgmental world.
Yeah.
And everybody's not going to be perfect. Everybody's definitely not going to be right all the time. Some people you can't change. Some people's minds you can't change. But it doesn't mean you can't change yourself to better yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Roberta says time will tell that you're different. And Darlene's in the house too. Yeah, Robin, you had something?
I do.
I appreciate this. You guys are doing great. Thank you.
Making an amends to somebody, and I personally think that everybody's got their part.
Yes.
There's never 100% I'm wrong. From 100% you're wrong, 100% I'm wrong. So you make your amends to this person, and they really don't think they've done anything wrong. And so in order to gain the relationship, should you take on full, should you say, my behavior has been atrocious your entire life, and I'm sorry for that, something like that?
my behavior has been atrocious is wow.
What am I drinking?
Okay. I understand what you're saying. We want to be specific enough so the person knows what I am making amends about. Now, because I may have to start with making amends for lying to you. Now, when we get to the money part, it'll be down the line. So I regret lying so many times in my addiction. I want to be able to do something different today. So I want to know how I can make it right in your eyes.
And even though they don't think they have any responsibility for it, because they are sick people, right? There's some sickness out there.
Mhm.
Just let it go. Just eat the bullet and say it doesn't matter.
Acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. But I accept my part, and when I do my best to make my part right, based on their understanding,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I'm doing all I can.
Yeah.
It's that maybe they're not ready. Maybe I've harmed them so much based on their past trauma that relationship will never be healed. And I got to accept that. I got to accept my part more than their part, right? They are people with their own needs,
Mhm.
right? I'm somebody with my needs. I can't let my needs trump theirs because that's when I get in trouble. Yes, sir.
I think what gets me was the main.
Oh, take your mask down, honey, because I can't hear you.
I think what really gets me in that thing, like what makes me feel that thing, is like when I talk to my sisters on the phone, whether it be FaceTime or whatever, they're laughing, we laugh, but it's like I guess I can say I hear the pain in their voice, like they were laughing, we're actually, we're having
Yeah.
fun, but I can still hear like pain in their laughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they say, okay, yeah, well, it's okay, I understand this and that, yeah, we have changed, but,
That's when amends starts. That's when true amends happens.
yeah, I'm not thinking it, or,
You're being compassionate for the other person. You're helping them understand. I'm understanding that I have a part in this, that I caused pain, that it's going to take a long time for that person to get over what I did to them. But I want to keep changing. That understanding of, man, I screwed up. I got to do something different today. And then begin to make those changes. Because that's what amends means. Amends is, let me do it again. Living amends means that you are making genuine changes in your life. Behaviors are true, honest, and they follow a path that is in emotional sobriety.
I'll tell you what helped me out with mine, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it might not work for you, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but my thing is, okay, when you make amends, like I said before, it's not your job to make them forgive you and everything go back to normal. Your job was show and being sincere about what you're doing. And the way I look at it is, I think like this right here. Them accepting your amends and wanting to make amends and you gotta fix things in that relationship or whatever the situation may be. When they accept that, that's the prize at the end of the game.
Yeah.
We don't always win the prize. I mean, some prizes we're gonna win, some we're not. I mean, I
Yeah.
played football all the way through high school. I got plenty of trophies, but there's plenty of games that I won that trophy I didn't get, But the thing is, it's just like anything else, you know what I'm saying? You compete for what you want in life, you know what I'm saying? And you don't let life tell you what you can have, because life is endless, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the possibility is the prize of things. But don't let you not getting that prize discourage you from what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's gravy when they accept it.
Yeah.
That's gravy when they begin to trust us again. But I got to understand that doesn't always happen quickly, putting myself in that other person's shoes. Alicia says, I love this. Hi, if an amends isn't enough, trust broken repeatedly, how best can we set a boundary or help ourselves and the other person understand the relationship has ended or will not be the same? I appreciate that, sweetheart, because that takes me right to the next part. Receiving an amends. What is my part in that? I found this. We actually took a class on it here at PRN, the staff did, and this just blew my mind. iMessages, specific ways that we tell people this is how to make it right. Okay. It says show specific behavior or in a situation, tell how I feel without attacking or blaming, give reasons for the feeling, state what I would like to happen. Okay. So when you talk to me in that tone of voice, I feel disrespected because I need to be treated in a better way. That does not meet my need. And I would like for you to speak to me in a nicer way. Show me respect. So that's when what they did, I feel, see, because nobody can tell you how the hell you feel. They can tell you something about what you did, but they cannot tell you how you feel. So, spit all over myself. When I feel sad because you did A, B, and C. What I'd like to see happen is C, D, and F. E. Does that make sense? That's a specific thing we can do. That lets people know what our need is, because you see, it's not fair for me to not allow you to understand from my perspective what my needs are. How are you going to make this right? If you don't know how to make it right, you'll never even out. Right? Maybe someone hasn't accepted my amends yet because they didn't explain what that looks like for them. That makes sense? Yeah, that shit does, doesn't it? So when I feel because I would like for you, it's specific, it's based on my needs, and it lets the other person know how they can go about doing something different. Because it's only fair, right? It's only fair when we help someone understand how to make things right. I don't know about y'all, but when I've been in that situation where someone didn't accept my amends, it was frustrating. It was sad. It really discouraged me because I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to make it right.
What did you do?
I kept learning.
Mm-hmm.
I kept trying.
Right.
And I kept changing to the best of my ability. You know, that's what we all do. We're all shifting and changing and growing in our recovery.
I'm experiencing that right now. I have one family person that I've made amends to, and she hadn't talked to me in 3 years. And just sitting here, I'm starting to look and see, because it was always, but mom wanted me to, or this and that and that. And I'm starting to sit here, and it's painful, and look at my part in it.
Yes, absolutely.
And how other people feel pain because of my behavior, even though I think I'm so damn right.
Well, you know, people hurt us. Mm-hmm. And I got to remember what that feels like. Mm-hmm. Right? It's tough. Making amends are tough. Changing that behavior, admitting to myself that I was harmful to someone. I don't like that in me. I like to be the happy person, the person that's helping other people, the person that's doing their best. And when I slip into self-centeredness, when I slip into making my needs more important than yours, that's when I screw up. That's when I'm not at my best. Let me just put it that way. We don't screw up. We're always growing and striving. All right. Any other comments about amends? Let me go over this one more time. When you do that, I feel this way because you did. I would like for you to. Okay. Remember, we're bumping into people that have trauma. We have trauma. Other people have trauma. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. Some of y'all remember that commercial. And that's how it is. It's like we're in a big bubble and we just bump into other people, right? Today, I want to be able to, I want my bubble to be smaller so there's not so much stuff in there. So when I bump into somebody, it's more of a positive experience, right? I want to thank the wisdom for the group today. You guys were awesome. I want to thank everybody. Did I say Darlene was in the house? I hope so. Anyway, I appreciate y'all's wisdom, y'all's wonderful willingness to share. Remember, Darlene says yes. All right, we're good. I trust her judgment better than my own. So when we make amends, we change. We change our behavior. When we receive an amends, we need to be specific about how that person can change. I feel, because this is how to change. I want to thank y'all for being out there. Hope you had a good time. Remember the warm line. I didn't give you the number. The number is 833-390-7728. I'm going to try to get that to come up. Warm line. Here we go. 833-390-7728 is our warm line number. Call us. We're here. Okay. Take advantage of our classes. Come by and see us. We're here for you here at PRN. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll talk to you.